Can you believe it's only been a few months since Season 3 of The Boys has been out? The wait for more episodes is going to be painstakingly long. But looking back, fans are worried about the fate of one of the members of the team. In this video, we'll be talking about the future of Mother's Milk on the show. We'll also discuss a fan theory on Reddit about the leader of the Seven. First things first, what's happening to Mother's Milk? Season 3 ended with Homelander slowly showing his true self to the public, making Butcher and Maeve's threat to leak the video from the crash of Transoceanic Flight 37 useless. The leader of the Seven literally lasers a protester's head off in front of a crowd of tens, maybe hundreds. To viewers like us, a scene like that is just a regular afternoon after 2 seasons of seeing much worse. But think about the actual characters for a second. They saw a civilian's body melt in front of them. Instead of acting shocked or traumatized, they cheered and showered their support for the man in blue. The overwhelming smiles provided a much more dangerous platform for Homelander, meaning he's going to be stronger and much more powerful in the next season. What does this have to do with Mother's Milk? Well, the guy who first positively responded to the murder Homelander committed was Todd. Yeah, that name doesn't sound the slightest bit ominous. Todd is actually Monique Milk's boyfriend. That's more like it. You must be wondering why we're pretending this is suspenseful or a major plot twist, since almost everyone has seen the show. Hey, it's been months. People probably forgot. You probably don't remember what you had for breakfast last Tuesday. Following up with what fans think this means for MM. The muscle of the Vigilantes has had his dark backstory explored over the past 2 seasons. His childhood encounters Soldier Boy, the rip-off Captain America they woke up after years of being locked in some cryogenic chamber thing. The super soldier caused a car crash that killed Mother Milk's mother, uncle, and grandfather. His dad was described to work himself to death as a lawyer after his unsuccessful attempts to sue Vought. This is where the hatred for Supes really came from for MM. In the 3rd season, there was a little more emphasis on his backstory, where we see him face his ex-wife's new boyfriend, who's basically the show's version of a white supremacist. Todd is likely to have a more prominent role in his next appearance after he got a taste of MM's fist for insulting his role as a father. This could lead to an actual face-off between Homelander and Mother's Milk, though it wouldn't be as awesome as the time Butcher faced him in Herogasm. Now, when Butch fought the Supe, he took Temp V, which made him look like Batman on steroids delivered from Krypton, minus the bat armor, of course. Oh, he also had the help of 2 other Supes. MM made it loud and clear that he doesn't want his friends or anyone close to him taking that stuff. So if he were to ever fight Homelander, we're not saying he doesn't have a chance, but he really doesn't have a chance. Moving on to what happens in the comics. If the comic version of Mother's Milk was the topic of discussion, then maybe, just maybe, he'd have a chance against Homelander. After all, the Amazon show is based on the comics from Garth Ennis and Derek Robertson. You'd be surprised that the show is absolutely nothing like the comics, but that's a conversation for another time. We'll tell you this though, in the source material, MM is actually a Supe with superhuman strength and stamina. What's more is that he dies in the comics too. Whoops, spoilers? Don't worry, because the Amazon show has hardly followed any of the arcs as they are in the source material. In the comics, Billy is the one who kills his teammate to get rid of anyone who's been exposed to Compound V. Butcher detonates a grenade right beside MM's face and continues to strangle him. If the show ever decided to go down this dark, gory route, we're in for a roller coaster. Though the question arises, will they ever go that far? Next, will MM die like in the comics? If Season 3 taught us anything, it's that both Butch and Mother's Milk will risk their lives for their cause. The leader of the boys has already shortened his lifespan after the overuse of Temp V, and has like a few months left to live. This could either lead to a path where Billy will be more responsible and take care of his friends, especially Huey, or it could also mean he'll go absolutely bonkers and relentlessly make spontaneous, life-threatening decisions which would eventually lead to MM's demise. Either is a possibility, because, to be honest, the show is very unpredictable. Someone you think will be an important character for the rest of the season ends up having their brain spilled all over the concrete ground the next second. One thing's for sure, if fans are right and the showrunners decide to kill one of the most loved characters of the series next season, it's going to get emotional and will definitely not be a quick death. Let's talk about what this would mean for the boys. With powerful villains and resilient vigilantes, Mother's Milk dying would only raise the stakes of the bigger picture. Unless some miracle of a cure is handed to Butcher, he's dying too. This would mean that the show could reach its grand finale. Yes, we know Eric Kripke plans to run 5 seasons in total. There's no harm in predicting things. With Soldier Boy temporarily out of the picture, the priority of the boys is Homelander, and of course, Victoria Newman. The fate of MM remains unclear, but if they plan to dive into his character even more, we just might be inching closer to the end of a fan favorite. Now for the Homelander Reddit theory. First and foremost, Stan Edgar and his relationship with Homelander, the former CEO of Vought, who's played by this generation's favorite antagonist antagonist-type actor Giancarlo Esposito is more than just a threatening figurehead in the company, as the third season entailed. Not only does he have a history with Victoria Newman, the head-popping Supes, but he's also been on the sidelines of Vought back when Team Payback was active. One can only assume that he had some sort of authority over the abuse Homelander faced as he grew up in a lab as their experiment. This brings us to the dynamic the two powerhouses have. Why didn't the Supes just kill Edgar when he had the chance? Homelander doesn't really hesitate to execute someone who doesn't respect him, right? Moving on to the Reddit fan theory. The discussion started with Reddit user TrollForeverXDXD, and thank heavens the username wasn't something explicitly absurd. Some fans came up with the idea that Stan wasn't being a bad CEO who humbled the leader of the Seven when they had a verbal argument with one another. Instead, Edgar might have been much more to Homelander than we might think. Since the first season, we've been introduced to Jonah Vogelbaum and Madeline Stillwell, who have both been portrayed as parent figures to the Supes, with both of them dead, along with his actual biological father, Soldier Boy, back in the chamber. Stan Edgar might be the only family he has left. This theory leads to the assumption that the CEO wasn't owning his employee, but was displaying a form of abuse like a bad parent would do. From what we know, Homelander seems to be desperate to find some ground and support in the form of a family. Ryan will play a key role in that part now that he's confirmed to be a series regular next season. Lastly, some more theories worth talking about. Like any other franchise, The Boys has garnered thousands, if not millions of fans, and there's always room for wild conspiracies and theories. For example, the identity of Homelander's mother is yet to be revealed. The show mentioned that she was a disabled person who died giving birth to him. But come on, when have the boys ever stayed true to facts given by Vought? With the way we've seen the leader of the Seven's interesting dynamic with maternal figures, Redditors hopped on board and said that he might have had a special relationship with his biological mother. Hey, the internet's words, not ours. There's also the fact that the actor behind Black Noir is yet to make a reappearance after his character died. In the comics, Noir's identity is revealed to be a clone of Homelander, and he's the one who impregnated Butcher's wife. The internet suggests that this unexpected twist from the source material could be twisted to a greater degree in the upcoming season. The Boys is weird, it's wild, and it's a blast, as long as you ignore the guts and blood in each frame of an episode. These are just fan theories, and no one knows how things will go down with the Seven and the Boys. What we do know is that it's going to be a thrill to see what's in store for us. And that's all the time we have for this video. What are your predictions for the upcoming season of The Boys? We're hoping to see some jaw-dropping theories in the comments below. As always, leave a like and hit that subscribe button to see more of our content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.